So I guess let me know when they'll start.
Yep, we're good now. Go ahead and just start it up.
All right.
Yeah, that's how it's done, dude. Before we get into the main course today, I would like to give a shout out to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. The absolute most trusted VPN service in the game right now, and at the moment, they came in clutch for me this week because I'm currently out of the States right now, and Disney Plus would not let me purchase their service since my debit card is registered in the States and I am not in the States at the moment. So I used ExpressVPN to change my location back to my home state, and now I can use Disney Plus freely. Not only that, but if one of your shows on Netflix is not showing in your current country, you can use ExpressVPN to change your locations and get the shows that you desire. Anyway, thank you for ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. Go ahead and check the link down below, and if you're not happy, you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. That is it. Thank you once again for ExpressVPN sponsoring this video. I will talk to you guys later.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My Squids channel. Dude, thank you so much for inviting.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Seriously, it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad finally. It's been a while since we've not even a while. We've never done a video, and I feel like it's been like such a. This is weird. It's about time something popped off. So here we are talking about those changes today, trying to get everything straightened out so people know what's going on, understand the changes, good, the bad, the ugly, the whole 9 yards. We want everybody to understand the changes and see how, from the actual people that play Zerker's perspective, how these changes will affect us in the future.
Yes, exactly. So for everybody watching right now, pretty much you guys know Squid plays Zerker. He makes obviously amazing Zerker content on here, more than I do on my YouTube channel. Rest in peace. But essentially, how this video we're gonna format it essentially is we're gonna go through the pre-awakening with you guys, what changed in the pre-awakening, then the succession, and then the awakening, and then we're gonna talk about the cons, pretty much why things ended up the way that they did, and maybe some of the things that they can work on, and the things that they didn't really touch. So essentially, first thing we're gonna talk about is the pre-awakening. I think they did some really great things here, to be honest. I don't know how you feel, but I think that they narrowed down and condensed like a lot of the pre-awakening things, a lot of the useless flows that we had. They were really used. They actually didn't do anything, and it's good to see that they kind of cleaned it up and then added them naturally to the abilities themselves instead of just us free selecting them and for them to do nothing. So it's good that they only left a few of the flows in there that actually mattered.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We had a lot of clutter within pre-awaken that we just didn't even bother to touch, and then there was just like it just lessens the skill point gap by a minuscule amount. So it's not nearly as just you need 50,000 skill points for everything. Not only that, but like you said, the extra flows that we just condense it all into one because there was no reason to add extra nonsense in there because other classes have it a lot more condensed than we do, so it was nice to have a cleanup.
I never got a chance to go on lab to test it out. I hope that that's the case, like you said, where like the SP amount's lowered, because that would be really annoying. Imagine they just like added everything together into one flow. Like it'd be really weird.
Oh my
I'm hoping
God,
that it's naturally.
That's a fair point. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, it's pretty good though. I like it because I mean it was a mess. I mean, realistically, I don't think that the pre-awakening has really been touched since like 2014, early days like Korea, to like 2016 and AEU, etc. So it hasn't really been touched, to be honest. So it's good that they did that. It's really good also that they touched on some of the connection issues, I guess, also with like BWS, Visa 1/, for you guys who don't know, and the pre-awakening as well as the prime version. It's really good. They kind of touched up the animations a little bit, made it a little bit smoother, made it to where it connects a lot better within combos, etc. It's really good, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't see too much of that in terms of like just watching people play, and just I didn't even get to experience that myself. So I'm glad that that's a change, because the flow was a bit janky before. So if it's a lot smoother now, I'm gonna personally enjoy that, because Beastly Wind Slash, huge part of Zerker combos and pre-buffs and stuff like that. So it'll be incredible to see that going, especially for Succession Prime, since that's like one of the damage moves, and it's protected now in Succession as well. So that'll be nice.
Yes. Oh wow, yeah. That's what I forgot about in my notes here, man. You're making me remember things as we go along. It's really cool too, because I'm actually surprised they did this for pre-awakening too. Is the tackling rock change? They gave it pretty much instead of 1 FG after the cooldowns, after the ability's ready to fire, you have 2 FGs now instead of 1 for both pre-awakening and succession, which is really huge. I honestly, I wasn't expecting them to do that for pre-awakening. I actually kind of really don't understand why, but it's good to see though, because I mean it makes the ability much more unlockable now. A lot more people are gonna be using it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't even use the skill now because I find myself just getting blasted out of that thing consistently.
Yeah,
so I lock it at all given times. I've recently unlocked it and started using it just because I like the first forward guard and it's a little bit of movement, but having 2 forward guards on it, that's actually not bad. I don't mind that whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean it is really good now. I don't think it necessarily fixes the whole issue where people were able to go around you, like especially the really fast classes, but it gives the ability just more use to make it more like desirable to use. So I mean, if that was their goal with it, that's okay. I think it's nice because it really helps stock out a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. It'd also be nice if they gave us back the forward guard on the Rebound skill, but I know that's probably never coming back. But that shit's never coming back. But it would be nice if we got that back.
Yeah. Whoa. Squid asking too much, man. Yeah, we already saw the feedback after our rework. Whoa.
Yeah, you're right. We're too privileged, dude. We're too privileged in the streets.
Yeah, way too privileged. But I mean, pretty much overall, guys. I mean, honestly, that's honestly it. I mean, they didn't do too much in the pre-awakening. There's still a lot that they kind of need to do. We'll go about that later. But I mean, that's essentially it. Those are the biggest things. It's a lot of just kind of negligible things, and that kind of like brings us right into the succession. Now, this was something that I was really happy for because I was really praying and hoping that they were going to kind of incorporate what Mobile Berserker was about, which is essentially just the beast. I mean, that's kind of what they wanted to do, I think, originally, but they couldn't really do it. They didn't know where to get that inspiration from, and I mean, it was just right there in front of them the whole time. They just had to look at mobile, and I'm really happy that they did. Finally, a lot of the animations are changed to just wild beast animation. You're vaulting yourself at people now. It looks like a scary thing to fight against. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, it's very Berserker-esque. It fits with the class. It feels complete. It looks complete, and it just honestly, like the feel of running on all fours as a fucking dog. Like that. I
don't like that. I like it.
Exactly. It looks sick.
Yeah.
It's sick. I really hope that some changes come to it more to make it just that much more better. But so far, the positives to Succession have been very, very good.
Yeah, I think for an initial start, man, it's pretty friggin' good. I mean, one of the biggest complaints was hey, I can't keep up crit on here. And so with the new mechanic that we have there, with the you can call it a few different things, the ferocious mechanic or the beast mechanic. We just call it the beast mechanic. Pretty much, people meme about it. They call it beast form light. That's what they call it. So
hell yeah,
kind of beast form light. But pretty much it allows you. It rewards you for using abilities in succession. So if you use your heals, use different abilities, it essentially resets the cooldown of the beast form, and it will allow you to consistently have that ability up. On top of the ability already, you can use it essentially 24/7 by pressing your Y on your controller. That's how the new mechanic will work. But it is just really cool. I mean, the direction that they want him to maintain that rage mode, that beast form all the time. They want you to stay in the fight to maintain that beast form. That's what they want.
And that's going to be cool. a really good thing for PvEers out there that play Berserker and not necessarily want to be in PvP, because that beast form is going to allow you to grind that much faster. The 30% crit buff, so you don't need to rely on predatory hunt so much anymore. We'll get more into that later on, but at least in the terms of the positives for the crit buff, at least it's there at all times without having to worry about proccing that every X amount of seconds that it's up, which is predatory hunt's a long cooldown too. So this is honestly a way more positive change.
I really like too though, like I said, overall all the animations have suck. I like the new animations. I love how they look. I love the aesthetic of them. I love how they act. I love how they behave. It's really nice. I mean, it's really cool that they got finally inspired by mobile and introduced it for Berserker on here. They brought the Titan for mobile here slowly. I hope that they continue that direction because it's really cool. I like also that in beast form you gain a heal. I like the heal you get every 2 seconds. I think it's 100 HP every 2 seconds if I'm not mistaken. And I think that if you use the beast form mechanic while you are in your class buff, it gets even stronger. It's really cool, actually. There's a clip. I should probably link it to you later on. There's it's like a new mechanic. He screams in the air. It's cool. It's cool as fuck, man. I love the animation. It's just cool, bro. It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, it's sick. And that heal too. Also, like you said, it gets a bigger buff. I think the heal that I saw was 350 per X amount of seconds, which is really cool. Really nice.
That's cool. That's gonna tie that in with before they nerfed it. They nerfed it back in the because when we launched initially with the Succession, it was like, I think it was either 350 or 500 every 5 seconds or whatever. They took that away pretty much though, and they never really brought it back. And we're all like, why the hell do you guys take that away? Like,
yeah, realistically, we were gonna need that, and the fact that it's back now is gonna be great. Like 350,
yeah.
Tie that into your fairy too. If you got a T5, that's
exactly.
gonna be incredibly nice.
And the claws also heal you when making successful contact on enemies as well. So at least I hope that's still the case. I hope they didn't change that claw score. I don't think that they did though.
Oh, good lord, if they did, that's gonna suck. Which that would be, you know, whatever, I guess. But at least the 350 heal is gonna be very nice.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
Thank God.
Luckily. Actually, we forgot to actually mention that the claw score change actually. So for Face Strike, like I mentioned before, they changed it to where it had a DP buff on it, DP reduction buff on it, where it would take away the person's DP to make them squishier. You can put an add-on on it, make it 30. They changed that to where it just naturally applies to this ability called Claw Scar. It's like its own passive mechanic on the ability. So now, as long as you hit a person with Claw Scar, they'll get DP debuff, which is huge because that means you don't need a add-on anymore on Fierce Strike to follow up with it anymore if you don't want to. But you can still have it there; it'll still apply, which is huge. And you know, you pair this up with the fact you're getting 100 health every 2 seconds. You know, as long as you use abilities, the cooldown resets, and you know, use additional effects, and you get a 30% crit strike. I mean, it's insane, and the duration for it increased from 10 to 20 seconds for the beast form. Now, I don't know if that's going to lower, but I mean, just for an initial rework that was posted, I think that Suck is going in a really good direction, and I'm hoping they continue to go in that way because. So everyone has been begging Perlibus to make Suck Zerk like mobile.
Yeah, the Succession Zerker on mobile just looks so saucy. It looks fancy. A lot of the moves, and even we don't even have some moves that are actually
we're gonna get into that later on.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. So as at the moment, I agree. Literally, Succession is probably gonna be a lot more better. Is it better than Awakening? Nah, not really. But it's definitely more viable and playable, and I have at least something to experiment because I have yet to touch Succession at all, just because of how, you know, just it was never worth it in large scale. At least, you know, after the, you know, the post 30-minute buff to Raging Thunder, like that was unfortunate losing that.
Yeah, I think that if you've never tried it, I think now's the best time. You're gonna have a blast with it.
Oh
man.
Yeah, I definitely plan on getting
a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be on full dog mode 24/7. That's gonna be super fun.
It's cool, man. It really is. It really is nice. I like the direction that they're going in with it. I hope that they, like I said, that they continue down this path. Now, obviously, we didn't go over every little thing about it, but those are the biggest things with it. Essentially, is like pretty much more crit, more of the time, a lot more. It's up pretty much by default 24/7. You don't need to worry about your add-ons. A lot of the time, that the constant health coming to you and rewarding you for melee gameplay, resetting your cooldown. My only question is now, I don't know if this is the case, but I'm wondering if. I think I saw it in a video. I should probably link it to you later on. But while your class buff is active, I wonder if you're able to consistently reset that class buff timer and keep all that SA by maintaining the pseudo beast form. That's something we got to look into.
Definitely, because if you can just use the pseudo buff where you're in feral beast mode, that is not protected whatsoever. So like, it's cool on paper, but when you're trying to, you know, large scale and stuff like that, you're just gonna get grabbed, blown up, etc. Like, just lose, and not having SA on it really hurts the Succession into a certain degree. It's nice for grinding because, you know, if you have DP, mobs are not going to do shit to you, and you can just, you know, swipe away, do big damage, get that 30% crit buff. But when you're actually PvPing large scale or multi-scale, whatever it is you're doing, like, why would you, you know, the animation's not necessarily fast, it's not protected, and like, it really feels like a positive PvE change, not really a PvP change.
Yeah, this is definitely much more of it looks like a PvE change than a PvP change, because if it was with PvP more in mind, I think that they would have added definitely a little bit more protection, but that's something that we'll definitely get into later when we list out the cons. But overall, good, really good start for, honestly, the whole Suck. It was a really good start. We still have a lot of work to do in a lot of our opinion, but very good so far. Very good. And I know that we didn't go over every little detail, but yeah, I wanted now we're here for the big guns awakening.
Big iron.
So we definitely got to talk about this now, because a lot of people have some misconceptions. It was just all straight buffs. I think you guys definitely mixed us up with Sorceress. We got some we got a fair bit of nerfs and buffs, so we're gonna go over that right now. So essentially, Awakening. So Titan Blow got a massive change to it. We're gonna go over all the biggest things. Essentially, I don't really, all the little stuff doesn't really need to be mentioned, but we're gonna go over pretty much all the impactful things. The Titan Blow is a skill pretty much where Berserker would essentially stand there charging up, unprotected. You can make it protected with a core skill. It would pretty much sit there charging up for like 6 seconds, stationary, slow ass ability. Just
very
sitting
slow.
there charging up. Like there's a whole war going on. You're just charging up. And now it's changed. But that ability did get some nerfs. It got a way more buffs to it than the nerfs. But they are worth mentioning. Pretty much the heal you got on it for while charging up and using the ability is completely gone now, so you don't recover any health at all while using it or charging up. The cast time that was used during Titan Syndrome is naturally on the ability itself now, which is great. However, it kind of loses Titan Syndrome kind of loses its value when using Titan Blow, so that kind of sucks in that regard. There was they pretty much did everything else though that we wanted on Titan Blow that we wanted. I mean, the ability itself was really looked down upon. I mean, you had to sit there forever charging up, essentially, and you just sat there. I mean, it was very easy to punish. You can just walk behind the FG. I'm glad that that's fixed. They also did nerf the add-ons on it, so you can't get T3 add-ons anymore, which is okay. I think, like I said, that the buffs more than counteract that. So what happened? A lot has happened to that ability. So like I said, first off, they changed the entire animation to make it faster. The entire animation has completely changed. The cooldown from Titan Blow went from 20 seconds to 7 seconds. It got a down smash. It got three ranged different projectiles essentially that will shoot out on the ability. It got the counterattack that was on it got removed and changed to a down attack, and you can now use it and flow into it from different abilities like Shake Off and Awakening, Slugfest, Ancient Power, Flamebuster, Seismic, and everything else. It became a power bomb ability. This ability you need to watch out for. This is going to be a huge thing to go up against.
Yes, very much so, especially for, when we're in node wars and stuff. Berserker is going to be that much more dominant in the range department. We're going to be kind of mid-range, and we're just going to be throwing bombs from downtown, and if you're not careful, you're going to get knocked, you're going to get CC'd, you're going to get ran up on. It's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap if you don't play right and keep yourself protected, or just, maybe start focusing Berserkers. I don't know, but it's definitely a very strong ability. Now, and the range on it too is no slouch. It goes pretty far. Titan Blow goes.
Dude, and you can shoot people while they're down too. Like if you're elevated, it goes down.
Yes, it always goes down for what it's like you're lobbing a baseball, like a whole ass
Literally.
Fiat at somebody. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is really good. But however, that goes into saying, though, that the reason why that was changed, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. The whole reason why this was changed, everyone, is because Q-Buff got nerfed, dude. Yeah,
Yep.
woo, Q-Buff.
Yep. Yeah, everybody hates the Q-Buff. All my homies hate Q-Buff. Literally,
so broken.
Because yes, Q-Buff is now gone. You can no longer, consistent back-to-back CCs. That I believe was the damage touched. I don't remember if the damage was touched.
I don't think so, but all the CCs on it. I think that the air smash, the down smash, the CC on it went off cooldown, the knockdown on it off cooldown. Like it's all gone essentially, and they nerfed the casting time on it on a ring menu completely for PC players. This was a massive nerf. Now, if you know anything about this, you guys definitely heard this on both Squids and my channel, but Q-Buff was never a thing on console. We've been pushing it for years. But pretty much our feedback obviously got somewhere because the animation for Q-Buff on PC now is the same one on here, so it's really cool to be honest. They're really mad though. They don't like it.
Yeah, it's pretty upsetting for PC players, but it was never here, so you can't miss what you never had. It'd be like that, and it's fine, honestly. Like for us, it's always gonna be fine because, like I said, we didn't have that.
They didn't touch the damage. You can still use it every 6 seconds. The charge up time when using the ability too has been increased drastically. Ancient Power's cooldown was literally cut by half. Like it's insane. Your charge damage now you're just overall your range damage in Siege and Node Wars and in combat in general now is going to be so much more there. It's going to be very noticeable in the combat. You got to watch out for it. It's very scary. It's very scary. They did some other changes too to supposedly skills like Slugfest. They supposedly changed the damage, but it's a very vague statement. They separated Titan Blow and Ancient Wave to two different skills now, which is really good. And probably more than anything here that everyone is happy about is Seismic got nerfed, everyone. Your wish came true.
Yep, it came true. That 5% nerf. It may not sound like a lot, but like if you're fighting a tanky person, believe me, you're gonna feel the 5%, and it's gonna be. I'm kind of sad that it's nerfed to a degree. That's really disappointing.
I know. I am definitely a little upset considering no other classes have gotten nerfs to their massive abilities. If anything, they've gotten buffs.
Yeah,
but I think that it's a way to kind of balance out the fact that we got a massive cooldown reduction on abilities like Split Shot, Titan Blow, Ancient Power, and all this more so range damage presence that we kind of have now, which is, I mean, if that's the reason, I can understand it. I'd rather take that than that. Yeah, I just hope that they don't go down that path and continue to nerf the ability. That'd be very disappointing, or kind of go back on some of these changes, because then that's like you said before, it kind of makes you question then, okay, well now you're kind of contradicting the whole point of this. Let's not do that. Let's not nerf that. But
I would very much be disappointed if they nerfed it. Keep the time the same, the damage can be the same. I would very like Titan Blow was such a positive change, and you know we have literally a giant cannon on our arm, and our range capability was tied to a 2-minute fucking buff. You know what I'm saying?
That was the issue, man. I mean, that's what we were all complaining about, even on console. I mean, even though we had a scuffed Q buff, I mean, our biggest complaint was, I mean, dude, I really don't feel impactful unless I have this ability up. It's really annoying because yeah, sure, like I know it's easy for people to say, well, we do have Seismic now, but it's like. Seismic isn't doing what people are thinking it's doing. Okay, I'm not running in there and going in there and blowing everybody up with this one ability. I mean, it does a crap ton of damage, but is it killing the packs of people that
it's not the one shot. It's not the one shot. It's not Grim Reaper's Judgment 50. Like we don't have a 50 on it. Like it's literally there are way stronger abilities than Seismic that do a fuck ton. It's like, is it good? Absolutely. Like Seismic is a very good skill and it does a fuck ton of damage, but it is nowhere near the level of some other things that are out there that can just absolutely decimate your health at high AP.
I would be a fool. I'd look like a clown right now to say that Seismic is a bad ability. It's not, but the whole reason why it was created in the first place was because Berserker had no trade potential whatsoever, and that's why the skill was created, and I hope that they still realize that and they kind of don't really take that away from him, because that was the whole purpose of it in the first place. We didn't have any trading. Low cooldown ability, big damage burst. We didn't have that. It literally did not exist on Zerg. It literally didn't. I know a lot of people might cite like, oh well, Ancient Wave, but that's 20 seconds and it's unprotected, so you can't really say that. So
it's pretty ass. Like Ancient Wave is like it's good in the terms of damage, and not to mention you got to get the correct spacing. It has been a little bit more easier. I don't know if they've changed like how the spacing works.
Yeah, I think they fixed the hitbox on it. So that's cool. But like it's not like that.
It's 20 seconds. It's still 20 seconds. Like I can have the easiest hitbox in the game, but I get to do that every 20 seconds. And Seismic is very nice. It's a very nice change. Even the 5%, I'll take the 5% on the chin. It's fine with me.
Of course.
Especially with Titan Blow change, it's very positive. So the trade-off is
so like that's what you see that, and that's okay. Like that'll warrant the damage nerf to Seismic. It wasn't a complete nerf. I think that definitely they increased the DP reduction you make on opponents from 15 to 20 to kind of mitigate that. But that's only going to be on the successful contact. You're going to honestly only really notice that if they're already like on the ground and etc. and stuff, to where they're open for a CC. But Split Shot is up in nearly every engage now to kind of compensate for that damage loss. So while yes, Seismic did get nerfed, you will have that Split Shot to follow up on reliably. It got changed. What is it? It's like 23 seconds lowered to like I think 23 seconds to 8 seconds. I mean that's insane. Like this is what everyone complained about. I mean, this is way better. It's bringing the power of the Q buff into the rest of the Awakening kit, which is exactly what we've all been crying about, and we got it. It's great.
Yes, finally, and that's great. And we're gonna be using Titan Blow and combos now. It's gonna be that much more fun. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more fun. More combo potential, more saucy, things popping out. Honestly, it's just like a really positive change. I'll take the nerf to Seismic. I'm fine with it 100%, especially since with everything, like I said, everything else is up there. We're good. I have no complaints. I think Awakening changes were very, very positive.
Very, very. So I wasn't expecting it, to be honest, at all. I thought it was just going to be like nerf, but no, it wasn't. It was very thought out. I mean, honestly, PA, if you're watching this, shout out to you guys. To be honest, I would say this definitely got the better end of the stick when it comes to initial reworks. A lot of time was put into this, though. I mean, it got delayed by so many weeks. I can't even complain, to be honest. It came out much better than I expected. Is it perfect? No, but this is only week 1. I mean, this is more than what I would have expected for a week 1 change.
Yes,
this is insane. So. There's definitely some other changes that we could go over, but essentially the biggest things that's changed. Supposedly Slugfest got a damage change on it. It also recovers more WP. Split shot's going to be up in nearly every engage now. 23 seconds to 8 seconds is insane. They added a down smash to Titan Blow. They added a down attack to Titan Blow. More damage from range on Titan Blow. And the core skill on it's going to definitely be more than meta now. And the activation speed of the ability is increased. It's literally it's going to be insane. I mean, I plan on taking off the slow on Devastation and putting on the add-on for Titan Blow for sure.
Oh yeah. There's no like in Devastation also was the elongated cooldown now.
Reduced by 5 seconds. Yeah, how could I forget? Yes, it's gonna be up a lot more now too. I know that's another thing a lot of people hate about Berserker's Leave is the slows, man, the slows.
Yeah, the slow. So having that up is gonna be very, very nice.
Yeah.
Does it do damage? Nah, it's just
and nobody really wanted to do damage, to be honest. I mean, we don't want that. I mean, the only people that wanted that were people kind of asking for a little bit too much. But as long as Slugfest gets a damage buff, that's all pretty much we wanted. Kind of SA ability to do damage. That's all it was. What else? It was honestly, I think Giant Leap got changed too, but dude, everyone's like making such a big deal over that ability, dude. It is not coming in like that. And if it does, then I'll eat my words, I'll own up to it. But there's no way it's coming in like that. There's just no way. It's definitely a bug.
I see. At first, I thought it was a bug, but like they took away the core skill.
I know. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's just, but there's no way.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
I don't want it. It's ridiculous. It's way too overpowered. You just and the thing is that they didn't fix what people wanted, which is the actual iframe part. So it's cool. You can move infinitely now. You can move away from infinitely, but I mean, it's still not an iframe, so it doesn't really do the ability justice. And I think that they need to fix it. I think this Friday we're gonna see it to where I think they want it generally to be just two different two charges in one ability. I don't know exactly what they're gonna be doing with jump sequence. I think it's just basically combined a Giant Leap. I don't know if it was truly intended, because I get what you're saying, because the cooldown only turns on when you stop moving.
Yeah, and you can't do it infinitely forward either. You can only do 2 forward, and then it's purely a disengage. And since they got rid of the core skill too, leads me to believe it was an intentional change. However, I think if they're gonna keep it that way, that's really what they want, which I'm not gonna complain. I will say, dude, increase the stamina consumption. Increase it. Absolutely. Yeah. It is an insane change. Having an infinite disengage, just stay floating around in the air, that is a bit much. You have to come down at something.
I don't like that. I'd be much happier with an ability that I can use every 10 seconds. That's a reliable iframe. From the second I get off from the ground, I would really much more like that, as opposed to just moving infinitely away.
Another thing about it too is that I noticed when I was watching Danny or Choice mess around with it, the cooldown starts the moment you use the ability, so you can infinitely disengage until the cooldown is back up.
That's
exactly ridiculous.
At least to me, that's why I don't think it's intended, because there's just no way. It just looks too insane for it to be real. I just can't believe it.
Yeah, there's no fucking way, dude. I don't believe that at all. There is absolutely no way that is gonna stay the same.
It just looks way too ridiculous. Yeah. Oh my god, man. Yeah, it's just nobody knows what wants it, man.
Yeah, if that stays the same, it's
gonna definitely need some tuning.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna need some tuning, 1000%. But if it does happen to stay the same, stamina consumption needs to be increased, because it's way too. It consumes way less than I expected, and just the overall utility and disengage now, especially now that we have more ranged capabilities, very dangerous to give us that. It's very dangerous. Like now we can just put a lot of distance.
I don't think a class that can have like the range that we do now, it should have infinite disengage. That's a little way too strong, because by the time that you disengage, right? You can, let's say you start the timer, you'll have seismic up, boom, you'll have ancient power up, boom, you'll have time blow. Like you can literally just play like a rat, essentially. You can literally play like a rat, reposition yourself infinitely. There's no way, because that is not Giant's role. That's not Berserker's like Awakening's role. I mean, he's supposed to be a range now team player that's provides massive amount of support and damage into balls of people, not a rat infinitely disengaging. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's really like in its defense, I guess if you're infinitely disengaging, you're not doing damage, but it's still the net positives from that are so high that it just there's no fucking I don't know.
Because even if you weigh out the fact we don't have core giant leap anymore, which does suck. Even if you weigh out the fact that we lost jump sequence, it's nothing but positives. It's 10-second cooldown for 2 essentially jumps forward, an infinite amount backwards. I mean, it's just way too strong. And I think that a lot more Berserkers would be happy with the ability if it was just naturally changed to what it was supposed to. Leave the 2 jumps backwards on it. 10-second cooldown, obviously that's what it always was. But make it a reliable iframe. That's honestly just what more Zerkers want. I mean, I'm going to be honest here. Most of the Zerkers have been pretty level-headed, even when it came to the Q buff. Yeah, were they upset on PC? Yeah, they were crying a little bit. They saw everything else that we got, like the Titan Blow and the Split Shot and the DP increase reduction on Seismic and all this other stuff. Yeah, we got some hefty nerfs. We lost the knockdown spam. We lost the downside spam. We lost the airside spam. But we got so much in return that it outweighs the losses in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. I definitely am preferring the changes that we got than, useless changes that they probably would have, changed up, because we could have definitely got it a lot worse. We definitely could have got it a lot worse. So
could have gotten the Maywatch treatment. So
there's that.
Definitely glad we didn't get that. So
thank God. Thank God.
So I guess overall for an initial rework, this is an amazing start. I think Berserker, completely unbiased statement here. We got the better end of the stick, I think, than most classes. I think the only classes who got a better one than us would be Warrior, Striker, and Sork. But that's only because also they've had a lot more time to be worked on, honestly. So who knows? We might have the best one out of everyone at the end, but, there's still a lot of weeks ahead of us. We don't know what that can pretty much mean. So, but overall, first week, absolutely insane. I think this is really good for Berserker. Now, they don't. That doesn't mean though that they fixed everything. I kind of want to go into that. If you have anything more to say, I mean, just let me know. But I wanted to go into the cons.
Nope, that was all for me. We covered it all as far as I'm aware.
I mean, and like I said, that's like a TLDR version. Like, there's way more changes than that. That's like, if you really care to read up on it, I'm sure Squid will leave it down in the description for BD Foundry and etc. for the translation. So like we were saying before, though, this didn't come with its cons. It definitely did come with its cons. So I guess we'll start with the pre-awakening, and then we'll do it in the same format, just talking about cons. So pretty much the pre-awakening, they did not touch how many gaps are in the pre-awakening. This is something that's not just Berserker exclusive. This is something that's on a lot of the pre-awakenings. I don't know if this is going to be something that they're going to change for everybody later on, but as it stands now, they didn't really touch anything about Berserker Pre-Awakening. Like I said, we kind of just skimmed over the changes in Berserker Pre-Awakening, like the buffs it got, because it was just so negligible. There was really no point to really go over it too much because of how just tiny and minuscule the changes were. They didn't touch our Weakling Hunt or Falling Rock. There's a video you guys will probably see on screen now about what Falling Rock looks like on mobile in succession. They could definitely bring that here and definitely modify the version for it for the Pre-Awakening. Obviously, it shouldn't be as impactful as it should be for Succession Zerker, like the version you're seeing on screen. But it should definitely be doing a lot more than what it's doing right now. As it stands right now, it's a goofy animation stun that you vault your shoulder onto the ground and you stun opponents. I mean, its only use right now is you use it for style points and to look cool. Other than that, it has absolutely no purpose whatsoever. So I was really surprised that they didn't touch on those two abilities. They've been locked for years, I can't believe they touched over that.
I like every Zerker locks that skill unless you're trying to goof around. PC, it is a lot more cooler because you can use the click to move and you do the little circle.
Exactly.
It's cool, but we don't have that on console, so lock that shit.
Yeah, it's horrible. I was very surprised that was not touched. Like I said again, I don't know if that's something that they're going to work on later on, but I hope so because those two abilities are really bad. So I really hope that they either revamp it like mobile. That's what we're all praying for, that they take what they have for mobile, because I'm pretty sure Weakling Hunt on mobile is like almost like a kick. They changed it to like where it's a kick, which it looks really cool and smooth. And they changed the Falling Rock to where you kind of vault yourself at opponents from a long distance. So I'm really hoping that they take inspiration from mobile. They continue to do that. And I'm begging them, probably if you guys are listening, to please take these animations from mobile with these two abilities, Falling Rock and Weakling Hunt, and post it onto here, because there is no reason why these abilities should have been kept the way that they have for like 7 years. So, yeah, that's pretty much that with those two abilities. Something we also didn't understand additionally as a con was how they didn't really touch Frenzy Destroyer for both Pre-Awakening and Succession. We didn't really understand how they made it to where it still has split damage. It's a melee ability that you can only use in close range. It has no protection on it, and it's slow, and it has a wind-up time. Like I said, that's unprotected. So the fact that it has split damage on it when it's a main combo, like it's used in Berserker's main combos, is mind-boggling to a lot of us that this ability still has split damage. I don't think that for the most part, I don't think that any melee class in the game should have to deal with split damage, because you are risking your life by going up to any kind of engagement while going into a melee encounter with how many things you have to worry about: slows, grapples, debuffs, hit stun issues when engaging into combat. This is all general gameplay that can happen to you in any stance, but it's more prevalent with melee because like I said, you're running into team fights, ball fights. You're running into that. When you're ranged, you don't have to worry about that. That's why it's crazy to me that this was not touched, and it's more of an issue for Suck because the AOE of Frenzy Destroyer and Suck is increased too. So that split damage is just, oh my god, it's insane there. It's just there.
That's a massive just negative for Succession, is just not having that split damage removed, and the range increase is like, you would say the range increase is a buff, but like it's like a buff, it's like a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? Like that split damage is awful, and then the fact that it's unprotected too, you're just gonna get grabbed, you're gonna get blown up. Like there's virtually nothing positive about Frenzy Destroyer. Like sure, the range is nice, but for what, like pulling mobs, because that's about as good as it gets. Okay, it's really nothing positive there.
Additionally, the damage of it while in Suck, I mean, it's still reduced on cooldown, so you're dealing with a ability that you can only use once in combos, because if you spam it, you get punished for it, unlike the absolute version of it. You have to deal with split damage on it, so on top of having damage reduced on cooldown. You have to deal with the fact that it's unprotected. I mean, you can't have all of these negative things associated with this ability. So the best feedback that I've seen was change Quaking Fury on it. So what Quaking Fury does, essentially, for anyone who doesn't know, is it makes Frenzy Destroyer abound. This is only a con because you can't combo with this ability on it. It'll ruin your CC timers, etc. You just can't use it. So what people said was that they take away the bound from that, give it super armor. I think that that's pretty bound. What do you think?
No, that is with the CC. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That is literally a fair change, because it's a useless thing anyway. Like we literally don't touch that shit. So having that and then replace it with super armor would be such a positive change for Succession. It would make it more viable in PvP. You could actually go into it, because when it comes to Berserker in Succession, that is as melee as it get. Big dog running at you with 2 axes. I don't know what's more melee than that. That's literally as much as melee as you can get. And the fact that he has no way to reliably do damage while being protected is quite possibly just the worst thing ever. And on top of that, piled with the split damage and everything, it's terrible. It's literally terrible. Take that bound away and put that SA on, please.
Yeah, it doesn't. It definitely makes more sense for Awakening to not have that. I can understand that because of obviously the range damage it has now and more presence. But for Succession to not have any kind of ability like that, that is mind blowing to me. We're gonna go into Suck in a second, but I mean that's just crazy for Frenzy Destroyer to not really get touched, or Quaking Fury, or any of the other ones I mentioned for Pre-Awakening. That leads me into my next one. This is something that obviously this isn't just Berserker related. Every class dealt with this, but they did not touch our passive. I was surprised they didn't touch our Fort of Giant.
Yes,
this was an ability that used to. I mean, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, having 250 HP is definitely impactful. It's nice, but let's not act like that everything has changed since then. There's been a lot of changes since Pre-Awakening. I mean, the Pavino Greco's journal log, Han Hume's journal HPs, other journal HPs, Kafra's level increases give you HP. HP is a stat that everyone has now. We don't really have a staple difference when it comes to this. It's not really hey, this is my passive. I feel unique with this. It's lost its value completely, in my opinion. And that was something that I was really hoping that they were going to change this with the rework. I don't know what they could do with it. Maybe maybe the more DR we get, the more HP we get. I don't know what it is, or maybe base the HP we get on per level. I don't know what they could do. but making it just a flat 250 HP and 350 in suck is definitely not giving it its uniqueness that it once had. It's supposed to, I mean, you're supposed to be a giant. It's supposed to be above all. Its HP pool is supposed to be the highest in the game. And while it might in some cases, it's really not that much higher than some, like Guardian's HP, Nova's HP, even Warrior's HP is very close to Berserker's, and I just don't think it should be like that. Now, like I said, this is just, we're talking about Berserker specifically. I know classes like Ranger and Tamer and Sork have some of the most garbage things I've ever seen in terms of passive, but when we're talking about Berserker here, this is all, you know, just strictly talking about Berserker here. So I hope that those passives change. I know that they were also planning on adding in a unique passive for every class, so I know that's hard to do, but they need to definitely rework some of the OG classes passives, because it's just not unique anymore. The last con I wanted to go over, went along with the Quaking Fury, was our Rebound Acts of Destruction. This was an ability that was completely unused. Our heal we use Wailing Beast instead of Acts of Destruction. This is an ability that I think they just need to take out of the game. There's really nothing more I need to say about this. This ability is like cursed, because what they do is they try to like up it every now and then. They try to like make it better by doing little things to it, but it's like it does less damage than a Frenzy Destroyer at like rank 1 on a 45-second cooldown. That's slower than casting out FD. Like, there's no one's clicking that. So just TLDR, just remove it. Suck cons. So here's what they missed, and this is what they can do to improve. They nerfed Predatory Hunt. The first hit of it for Succession, so you can't cancel it anymore on the first hit. That pretty much that first hit made it to where we can kill mob packs quick or kill people first. It was just a big amount of burst damage. The con of it was that it was on a 20-second cooldown. The thing is now, though, is that it's completely gone. You can't do it anymore. With the new beast animations in Succession, you lose pretty much all of that. You can't cancel anymore. So you also lost the final strike on it as well. So it's completely gone. So they reverted it. So what they need to do is that they need to first off bring that back. I don't know how that they can do that. Maybe make a new beast animation where you slam on a person or something. But you need to definitely bring back that burst. It made a lot of Suck players very upset that ability was taken away. There's really no reason for it, considering, like you said before, Suck has absolutely no burst whatsoever. So taking that away was pretty uncalled for. And then additionally, on mobile, there's an ability called Earth Shatter that will also be on your screen right now. This ability, I believe, has an 8-second cooldown. It does 3 swipes. It's got like a medium range, and it's an FG. It's a lot of damage, and that could be the answer that we were all looking for, essentially, when it comes to Succession's burst damage, because it has none. You know, Awakening has Seismic, Awakening has Split Shot now, Awakening has Time Blow now. What does Suck have? It doesn't have anything. What does that have? Spin?
Yep.
You know, that's a meme.
I was like, that's a meme. If you get spun on, that's your fault. That's your fault.
Yeah,
at that point.
If you're getting killed, man, that's just. That's on you, man. There's no reason why you should be getting killed by that. It's very slow. So definitely add Earth Shatter from mobile. Yet again, please, just all you have to do for Succession, guys, PA, if you're listening, or anybody, please, all you have to do is literally just take mobile and post it here. You guys are already doing that. I really love what you're doing. We all love what you're doing. Just continue doing that, because you're stepping in the right direction. So just continue doing that, and just give Succession Berserker just some burst. It has nothing. So that was a nerf to it. Pretty much that FG would pretty much help, though, essentially a lot of the unprotection that the kid has in Suck, so that'd be very nice. We talked about this before, but pretty much like the falling rock animation change, that's something that can be even more amplified in Suck. Everybody, like I said before, everyone likes the new direction of the beast mechanic. It's really nice, but the biggest complaint now, like Squid mentioned earlier, was the fact now that dude, it's completely unprotected. I mean, you can't really expect people pick this melee version of Berserker and to stay in a fight if it has no protection. It has nothing. I mean, it's slow. It has no protection. You can get grabbed in it. You can get slowed in it instantly, and you get punished hard when you get slowed in it. I mean, you are like a turtle.
Yeah, and the animation already is not that quick either, too.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a heavy hit with the slow.
Yeah, so there really is no excuses as to why the new Beast Form mechanic is completely unprotected. I can understand if they added like an FG, that would be cool too. Or maybe if they made it to where when we pop our class buff, we can like maintain that SA or something. The extent of it, because like I said, I'm not on labs, but when just looking at the ability itself, just here the Beast Form mechanic that we have, it cannot be left unprotected. There's absolutely no way, because you can't play it. You can't play it. It's unplayable. You can't. It has no protection. You can't stay in something that requires you to be in a melee stance and have no protection. There's just no way. Yeah, I mean, that's just doesn't make any sense. And then Predatory Hunt, the cooldown of that still being 20 seconds, that's also something that doesn't really make any sense because it's not really an insane ability. Definitely lower that by like 8 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's I don't know.
Like, why not suck? Lowered all the cooldowns in Awakening, but not suck. Okay, I don't really.
Yeah,
but that's for a lot of people though. I know that they were complaining about that.
Yeah, I hope that they listen to the complaints because having the cooldowns reduced would be very nice. And since the Titan blow reduction on the cooldown, all that stuff is just very positive. And then Succession is just like PvE spec. That's basically what it is. And if they keep it PvE spec, that's gonna I'm glad that Berserker can make money now. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that Trash Pull will be very positive, but I would very much like to see some presence in node wars and large scale, just in general. Nobody's really complaining about 1v1s. If you're in dog form 1v1, you get yoked up. That's no fault.
In general, it does suck that Berserker doesn't have a way to defend itself, especially against like this rad meta that we're in. But it is what it is. We got more range presence than Awakening, but for Suck to have no way to stand its ground against that, I mean, there's really no excuse for that. So adding some kind of protection on it, a lot of people could say that it would be OP, but I disagree. I think for how slow it is, I think for how long it takes to throw out the ability itself, and if you get hit by that, I mean, it's just insane. Like, there's no way. It's too slow. You can just die from it. So those were pretty much the cons I've noticed, at least in the first week. Like I said initially, the first rework, it's absolutely amazing. Major glaring issues in the core part of like the Beast Form mechanic and pre-awakening kit that they need to fix. I do personally feel like, I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like that it was definitely an awakening biased rework, not just for Zerk, but for a lot of people. They can definitely do a lot more work on the pre-awakening and the
yeah, it was 100% a bias thing. Like Awakening got a lot of love. It got a lot of love, and then Succession is like, hey, well, now you guys got this PvE buff, good job or whatever. And like I said, I really hope that there's gonna, the next coming weeks are gonna be changing it up. I really don't want that to be relegated to PvE only spec. I really don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want that either, to be honest, because I mean, people like it. They want to play it for what they want to play, and want to feel forced into playing one spec. They want to play what they want to play when they want to play it,
Yeah, and Berserker, like I said, he's about as melee as it gets, and you have some fiends out here that really want to feel like they can get in someone's face and do something. So, just I don't know. I really hope that they take a second look at Succession. I think A1 right now with Awaken, Succession still needs some attention. Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like I said, first week, very good. Like I said, I hope that they continue that. I hope that they continue taking inspiration from mobile. Not everything is perfect, but I want them to stop being afraid, I want them to continue to going on this path of what is working instead of what they think will work, So that's honestly about it. I think, like I said, we got better end of the stick than a lot of other people, but at the same time, we did not get everything.
And with that being said, I think we're going to call it here and call it a day. That I think we covered everything. If you have any questions, drop them down below, and then we'll be in the comment section answering your questions. But thank you guys for watching. We'll hit you up later. Don't forget, check out Proteus stream. I'm going to have all his links down below. Watch his videos. Definitely get in the stream. Hit that follow button, and he streams like literally on the regular. So definitely get in there.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Trying to see A1 Berserker action. This is my master right here. Taught me everything I know. So if you're trying A1 Berserker.
Thank you so much.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, that's it, boys. We're out of here.
I'm the one. Yeah, she knows I'm the one. Yeah, she knows I don't need no